Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasari Gaur Bhaktavinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasari Gaur Bhaktavinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasari Gaur Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So today is Monday. It is the 27th of May and it is Trivikrama Masa or Jyeshta Masa, Krishna Pakshan, and it is Chaviti Tithi. So there are no Vaishnava events today. So we shall quickly move into Srimad Bhagavatam. ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय Hare Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, Sukadeva Goswami, he is offering his prayers to the Supreme Lord. So in his prayers, initially, for a couple of verses, he was offering his obeisances, humble obeisances. Namo Namaha, Tasmai Subhadra Namo Namaha. Likewise, he was praying for half of the verses. Now, in the second half of the verses, he is asking, Same Mukundam, uh, he was Same Mukundo Bhagwan Prasidatam, 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 just be, oh my dear Lord, be pleased with me. Likewise, in the second half of the prayers, he is praying. So just to see, all these Sukadeva Goswami prayers are so exalted. One is the offering obeisances, second is the asking Lord to be pleased with him so that he can speak further about the Supreme Lord and his energies. So in the yesterday's verse, Yadangri abhidhyana samadhi dhautaya dhyanu tattvamatmanaha vadanti chetat kavyo yatharucham same mukundo bhagwan prasidatam. So the Lord will be seen by the pure devotees. And also the mental speculators, they speak about in according to their limited knowledge. And the Lord who is giving the liberation to all the living entities, conditioned souls, that Lord be pleased with me. Likewise, Sukadeva Goswami offered yesterday's prayers. So today he is again further prayers. He is mentioning the Brahma. And initially, in the beginning of the creation, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, he has inspired Brahma in his heart so that all the knowledge is revealed in his heart. He got the knowledge from the Lord. And after that, by Lord's his internal potency, and he appeared that he has he appeared that he has generated from the mouth of Lord Brahma. And that Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the greatest among all the great sages, be pleased with me. Likewise, he is mentioning few more characteristics of the Lord. So we are in the Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, chapter number 4, verse number 22. प्रचोदिता येन पुरा सरस्वती वितन्वता जस सतीं स्मृतिं हृदि स्वलक्षणा प्रादुरभूत्किलास्यतः समे ऋषीणां वृषभः प्रसीदताम् प्रचोदिता येन पुरा सरस्वती and Prachodita Yena, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who has Prachodita inspired Pura Saraswati in the beginning of the creation, all the goddess of learning, the Saraswati, the goddess of education, the learning, and he inspired that knowledge in the Vitanvatajasa Satim Smritim Hridi Vitanva, and he amplified Vitanva Vitanvata Ajasya. Ajasya is the Brahma, the first created living being. So he is also called Aja. He did not born like a ordinary living entities. Vitanva Tajasya Satim Smritim Hridi Satim Smritim. This is the potent memory. Satim Smritim Hridi in his heart, in the heart of Brahma, the Lord amplified and he has inspired all the knowledge of the Vedas, Vedic knowledge. So the Lord inspired Brahma. In the begin, in the first shloka of Srimad Bhagavatam is the Janmadhyasya इतरशाद्धे स्वविघ्नस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्म हृदय आदिकवये तेने ब्रह्म. So tene brahma is the Vedic knowledge. Brahma, tene brahma hridaya adikavaye. Kavi is Brahma there. And in the heart he revealed all the knowledge. So here Sukadeva Goswami is mentioning that prachoditayena pura saraswati vitanvata jasa satim smritim hridi. स्वलक्षण प्रादुरभूतिलास्यतः समे ऋषिणां वृषभः प्रसीदतां. स्वलक्षण, by his own uh, swalakshana, aiming at by his himself, pradurabhut, and he generated kilasyatah, as if just like a appearing from the mouth of Brahma. So Swalakshana Pradrabhutkilastitaha. So the Lord is appearing from the mouth of the Brahma. It is appearing like that, as if. Same Rishinam Rishabha Prasidatam. And that Lord, Same be Same Rishinam Rishabha Prasidatam. The Lord who is the greatest Rishabha among the Rishinam, and Same Prasidatam, and the Lord be pleased with me, and show his lots of mercy on me. Likewise, Sukadeva Goswami is asking the Lord for his blessings. Same Rishinam Rishabha Prasidatam. So here, Swalakshana Pradrabhutkilasiataha. It is Lord is appearing from the mouth of the Brahma. How we understand that one is? Krishna says in the 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, 15th verse, Vedanta Krud Veda Videva Chaham. I am the only one to be known from all the studies of the Vedas. So here, whenever Brahma from the mouth means Brahma, what does all the Vedas are speaking? So he expands Brahma Asujat Pramukato Vishwam Atma Prasid. He expands that one. He personally expands. That is, we understand Lord is the Bhagavan Shabda Gocharaha. He is understood only by the sound vibrations. Vedas are sound vibrations. And through the sound vibrations only we can be understand. So here Swalakshana Pradurabhut Kilakyataha. So the Lord is appearing just like from the mouth of Brahma. So that way we understand. Prajotitayena Pura Saraswati Vitanvatajasa Satim Smritim Hrudi. Swalakshana Pradurabhut Kilakyataha Same Rishinam Rishabha Prasidatam. So translation for this verse. May the Lord, who in the beginning of the creation amplified the potent knowledge of Brahma from within his heart and inspired him with full knowledge of creation and of his own self, and who appeared to be generated from the mouth of Brahma, be pleased with me. And purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Can I request Gauringi Mataji, would you like to read half of this purport, Mataji, please?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Until here.
Okay, Prabhuji. Purport. As we have already discussed herein before, the Lord as the super soul of all living being from Brahma to the insignificant and endows all with the required knowledge potent in every living being. A living being is sufficiently potent to possess knowledge from the Lord in the proportion of 50, 60 fourths or 78% of the full knowledge acquirable. Since the living being is continually part and parcel of the Lord, he is unable to assimilate all the knowledge that the Lord possesses himself. In the condition state, the living being is subject to forgetting everything after a change of body, and none is death. This important knowledge is again inspired by the Lord from within the heart of every living being, and it is known as the accounting of knowledge, for it is comparable to awakening from sleep or unconsciousness. This awakening of knowledge is under the full control of the Lord, and therefore we find in the um, particle practical world different grades of knowledge in different persons. This awakening of knowledge is neither an automatic nor a material interaction. Thus, supply soul is the Lord Himself, Dian Patin
Diyam
for
Pati.
okay, DM Patin. For even Brahma is also subject to this regulation of the Supreme Creator. In the beginning of the creation, Brahma is born from first within any father and mother, because before Brahma there were no other living being. Brahma is born from the lotus which grows from the abdomen of the Garbhodasaya Vishnu, and therefore he is known as Aja.
Hare
Hare Krishna. Okay.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Can I request any other devotees to read the next rest of the half of the purport, please?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yeah. This Brahma or Aja is also a living being, part and parcel of the Lord. But being the most pious devotee of the Lord, Brahma is inspired by the Lord to create subsequent to the main creation by the Lord through the agency of material nature. Therefore, neither the material nature nor Brahma is independent of the Lord. This material scientist can merely observe the reactions of the material nature without understanding the direction behind such activities, as a child can see the action of electricity without any knowledge of the power of engineer. This imperfect knowledge of the material scientist is due to a poor fund of knowledge. The Vedic knowledge was therefore first impregnated within Brahma, and it appears that Brahma distributed the Vedic knowledge. Brahma is undoubtedly the speaker of the Vedic knowledge, but actually he was inspired by the Lord to receive such transcendental knowledge as it directly descends from the Lord. The Vedas are therefore called apu, apaurvishaya, or not imparted by any created being. Before the creation, the Lord was there, Narayanaha Paro Vyaktat, and therefore the words spoken by the Lord are vibrations of transcendental sound. There is a gulf of difference between the two qualities of sound, namely Prakrita and Aprakrita. The physicist resist can deal only with the prakrita sound or sound vibrated in the material sky. And therefore, we must know that the Vedic sounds recorded in symbolic expressions cannot be understood by anyone within the universe unless and until one is inspired by the vibration of supernatural aprakrita sound, which descends in a chain of disciplic succession from the Lord to Brahma, from Brahma to Narada, from Narada to Vyasa, and so on. No mundane scholar can translate or reveal the true import of the Vedic mantras, hymns. They cannot be understood unless one is inspired or initiated by the authorized spiritual master. The original spiritual master is the Lord Himself, and the succession comes down through the sources of Parampara, as clearly stated in the 4th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. So, unless one receives the transcendental knowledge from the authorized Parampara, one should be considered useless. Nishpala Mataha. Even though one may be greatly qualified in the mundane advancement of arts and or science. Shukadeva Goswami is praying to the Lord by dint of being inspired from within by the Lord, so that he could rightly explain the facts and figures of creation as inquired by Maharaja Parikshit. A spiritual master is not a theoretical speculator like the mundane scholar, but is Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you so much, Mataji. And very nicely read. Okay, so here in this purport, Prabhupada explains from the beginning, from the Brahma down to the ant, everyone need required knowledge to do. The ant wanted to build a hole in the earth, and Brahma wanted to make a big universe. So that everyone are trying to engage, and the human they are trying to make the skyscraper buildings. So that is everyone are trying to engage in their own way. Everyone needs some kind of knowledge. And here, a living being is sufficiently potent to possess knowledge from the Lord in the proportion of 56 fourths or 78%. So our acharyas, they calculate the potencies and opulences of the Lord in different expansions. So Krishna, when he appeared, he exhibited 100% of all the opulences, which even Vishnu has not exhibited. So uh, within those opulences and potencies, so Krishna is 100% full in all opulences in full, and whereas the Vishnu, it is 96%, and Lord Shankara 84%, and Brahma 78%, and Brahma is the topmost living entity. So Shiva is above the living entity, but he is not ordinary. He is above, beyond it. He is directly the Supreme Lord Himself in the form of to maintain mode of ignorance as the maintainer of the world. So Kshiramyatadadi Vikar Vishesha Yoga Sanjayate Nihi Tadah Pradagasti Hetoho. So likewise, the Supreme Lord for the maintenance of creation, whenever he accepts the Lord Shiva form, just like a milk turn into yogurt, but yogurt cannot become a milk. Milk can turn into yogurt. So Krishna is milk, Lord Shankara is the yogurt. Okay, so for the and here Lord Shankara is at 84%. He is beyond the living entity. So here about the living entity, since the living being is constitutionally part and parcel of the Lord, he is unable to assimilate all the knowledge that the Lord possesses himself. He cannot take all the knowledge similar to the Lord. So, but here he can reach as much as Brahma, that is the 78%. And then further, Prabhupada is explaining about how the Lord is inspiring Brahma within the heart, and also not only the Brahma, and also each and every living entity. Sarvasichahum hridisannivishto matta smriti jnanam apohanam cha. So he gives the knowledge. Matta smriti jnanam. He gives the knowledge, he gives the smriti and apohanam, also forgetfulness. That is, and whenever he gives the knowledge, it is comparable to awakening from sleep or unconsciousness. So this body is only a kind of a um, phantasmagoria, illusory dreams. but we think it is the permanent. We need to make a permanent residence in this world and live happily among the relatives. And we wanted to show and we want to prove something. To whom we need to prove? There is no answer. Who are our eternal relatives? No answer. So this is the materialistic way of life. So that is so Prabhupada is mentioning that is a sleep or unconsciousness. The awakening of knowledge is under the full control of the Lord. He gives the knowledge to whom he has to give. So otherwise, if he gives the full knowledge to all the living entities, then there is no difference. But that is the nature of the souls in the Vaikuntha planets. But here in this material world, everyone has got a different consciousness, different mood. So Lord awakens the knowledge accordingly. So that's why he is the Dyampatihi and he gives the Lord of Intelligence, Dyampatihi. He is the Lord of Intelligence. And Brahma is also subject to the regulation of the Supreme Creator. Even Brahma is also subject to this regulation. So here, whenever Brahma appeared from from the womb, navel of Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, he started offering his prayers. So at that time, he looking at Tari, uh, तरिहेव तन्नाभि सरसरोजम् आत्मानं स्वसनं वियच्च ददर्श देवो जगतो विदाता नातः परं लोकविसर्गदृष्टिः. So looking at the entire the everywhere it is the ocean. This is Garbhodaka water. There is no people. Only he is sitting alone, and only Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu. He has appeared in front of Brahma after so many years of meditation. Now he wanted to create the universe. So at that time he was saying, Dadarsha Devo Jagato Vidata Natha Param Loka Visarga Drishtihi. And then for that one, Sakarma Bijam Raso Praktaha Prajaha Sirshuksha Nedevo Drishtva Astad Visarga Vimukasta Medhyam Avyaktavatmani Abhiveshitatma. Then he started praying to the Supreme Lord to be pleased with him and give enough knowledge and mm, the energy so that he can do for the secondary creation. So already primary creation, the lotus stem has the lotus stem, which is the ingredients for the next 14 planetary systems that Brahma is going to use the lotus stem as a planetary systems. So now actually we are also situated in the stem of the lotus flower, which is the Earth, which is the middle planetary system. It is also as part of the lotus stem. And then later on, Brahma offers his prayers. So the Brahma prayers in the third canto, 9th chapter, they are very exalted prayers. 25 slokas are there, very beautiful. I think we have also discussed these prayers before in last year. Okay, so here Brahma, he got that knowledge from the Vishnu, and Brahma is born from the lotus that grows from the abdomen of Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu. Shushantra Vijjita Nabhideshat. That lotus flower, whenever all the conditioned living entities they are in the dormant or deep slumber in the body of Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, after 1,000 Yuga cycles, the Lord's body turned into bluish. At the time, uh, this lotus flower, it is sprouts from the navel of Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu. So that explains very beautifully in the 8th chapter. So how these karmas and their effect, it is the time for all living entities to start their activities. At the time, this lotus flower starts emanating from the navel of Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu. And because Brahma doesn't have mother, like he did not born like a ordinary living entity, so he is also called Aja. He is known as Aja. And then further, and also here, one of the main aspect of the sound, and Prabhupada is explaining, um, So in this purport, this entire cosmic manifestation or the universe, it has come from the sound vibrations. So initially the Mahatattva, so this is mode of goodness, passion and ignorance, and then all the 16 principles of the Mahatattva, so they are created by the Lord, that is primary creation. And then whenever this Mahatattva, from the Mahatattva, this universe excel is contain the collection of living entities as a souls coming there, and these are wrapped up by the Mahatattva and as a form as a universal egg cell. And then at the time the Lord enters into this one to awaken the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu enters, and then from his navel this lotus flower it emanates. So and then before that universe, that egg is coming out, the sound vibration, the universe mode of ignorance is the source for the sound vibrations within this universe. And then only sound vibrations we can go out of this universe as well. That is chanting of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra with the only holy name can take us out of this universe. And from the sound we know how the ears are formed, and also the space has been accommodated. Sound, sky, and the ears, the corresponding sense to act. And then next further, because the space is there, and then air will be accommodated. That is the sense of touch, sense of touch, and also the skin and the air. These three will come as a second level of creation. And third level is the form. From the air, the fire comes. Fire and also the eyesight, which is used to see the form, and the heat, that heat, the fire, form, and the ice. Sorry, ice. These are the third level, and then fourth level is the taste, the tongue, and the taste, and also the water. Water comes from the fire, and then finally the earth, nose, and the smell. Likewise, gradually, but out of all these things, the sound is the prominent thing, the first thing in this universe creation. So from the sound, we see the earth is formed at the end, and then using the earth, everything. So earth contains, even because it has created at the end, it inclusive of all the top elements. So earth contains all the smell and all the taste and the form, the fire, and everything it contains. It is combination of all the top elements. Okay, so this is and that is sound is the primary thing, but that sound Bhagavan Shabda Gocharaha. Using that sound, only we can understand the Lord in this universe. We cannot see with our senses, but at least the sound is there, the transcendental sound. But here, the materialistic way, the scientists in this material world, they can understand only about whatever they see through their senses. That is very limited. And here the sound is the Vedas are the actually in the form of the sounds. That's why they are called Apaurusheya, or not imparted by any created being. Before the creation, the Lord was there. Narayana Paro Avyaktat. Narayana Paro Avyaktat. So that is properly explaining. And therefore, the words spoken by the Lord are vibrations of transcendental sound. There is a gulf of difference between two qualities of sound, namely Prakruta and Aprakruta. And also, this Prakruta sound, sound vibrated in the material sky, and it is dealt by the physicist. And therefore, we must know that Vedic sounds records in the symbolic expressions cannot be understood by anyone within this universe unless and until one is inspired by the vibrations of supernatural Aprakruta sound. These are Vedas are called Apaurusheya. They are coming from the breathing of the Lord. And so that's why which descends in the chain of disciplic succession from the Lord to Brahma and Brahma to Narada. This is Evam Parampara Praptam Imam Rajashyo Viduhu. And also, Idam Bhagavatam Nam Puranam Brahma Samhitam Brahmane Bhagat Proktam Brahma Kalpa Upagate. In the beginning of the creation, the Lord spoke Bhagavatam to Brahma, and then Brahma spoke to Narada when Narada inquired. Likewise, all the knowledge came down from the top to bottom. And here in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, speak Bhagavad Gita to the sun god, and sun god to Ikshvaku, his son Manu, and then Manu to Ikshvaku in that lineage, Lord Ramachandra, and then further down. So now we are here, we are receiving and hearing this knowledge. But however, this Krishna spoke that knowledge 5,000 years ago to Arjuna again, repeated the same knowledge. So even not only this knowledge, even when Kapila Bhagavan also is speaking Sankhya Shastra to Devahuti, Tam imam te pravakshami yamavogam puranage. That is Puranage, it is already spoken. Rishinam shrotu kamanam yogam sarvanga naipunam. This is yogam sarvanga naipunam. It contains all the angas, sarva angas, all parts. Whatever the part you wanted to know, you have got the answer. So it is full in the knowledge and everything. So that is coming from, descends from disciplic succession, from Lord down to all our acharyas now. They are now taking it and giving it to the further generations. So anything if you wanted to know, only approach the bona fide spiritual master. Okay, so that is authorized Guru Parampara. And then otherwise one should be any knowledge coming without Guru Parampara is Nishpala Mataha. It doesn't yield any fruits. And it will not take Nasukam na Param Gatim. Nasasiddhim Avapnoti. So Yasyastra Vidim Ustrujya Vattate Kamakarataha. Nasasiddhim Avapnoti Nasukum na Param Gatim. One does not get any happiness, Nasukum na Param Gatim. He does not attain any ultimate destination. And also he does not achieve Nasasiddhim. He does not attain anything, whatever he is trying to achieve, if he is acting opposite to the Shastras. So now Sukadeva Goswami, he wanted to speak all the Srimad Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj. So he is praying to the Lord to inspire him so that he can speak further. So that is by dint of being inspired from within by Lord, so that he could rightly explain the facts and figures of creation as inquired by Maharaja Parikshit. So a spiritual master is not a theoretical speculator like the mundane scholar, but he is Srotriyam Brahmanistam. It is Brahmanistam. He has kept Swantastena Gadabruta. He keep Lord in the heart. He speak only Lord about the Lord from the scriptures, not by his own personal opinions or views or angles from the material point of view. It is not like that. It is Srotriyam Brahmanistam. Only authorized scriptures only he speak, not the mental speculations. Likewise, Sukadeva Goswami, he is invoking auspiciousness prayers for himself from the Lord, asking blessings from the Lord. So that is a very beautiful verse. And Prachoditayena pura saraswati vitanvatajasa satim smritim hrudi solakshana pradurabhutkilachataha tame rishinam rishabah prasidatam. Very beautiful verses. Dear devotees, kindly when you get a chance, you recite this Sukadeva Goswami prayers. They are very exalted prayers. One is offering our obeisances, and another is asking blessings from the Lord within those prayers itself. Okay, that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. We shall go quickly into Srila Prabhupada's daily letter. So today it is letter to Linda, February 19, 1970, Los Angeles. Can I request any other devotees to read this letter, please? Unallocated devotees, if possible. Or any devotees, please.
Hare
Yes,
Krishna.
Yes.
My dear Linda, please accept my blessings. I am in due receipt of your nice letter dated 10th February 1970, and I am very glad to note that how you are eager to understand this science of devotional service to Krishna or Krishna consciousness. Regarding your question about the difference between the pictures of Krishna and the deity, Krishna is equally there in both these forms. Krishna is so kind that he agrees to be appear for the benefit of the conditional soul in 8 different kinds of forms. Such forms is called archa, or the form, a form of the Lord manifested through material agency as metal, earth, wood, painting, stone, jewel, drawing, and mind. The archa is accepted as incarnation of God and is worshipped by regulations. Generally, the installed deities are so worshipped, and the regulative principle should be strictly followed in regard to them. I am very happy to learn that you are finding the Detroit atmosphere so blissful. And actually, the more you engage yourself in the sincere service of Krishna, the more you will find yourself always blissful. So far, your dreams are concerned, it is very nice that you are thinking about Krishna consciousness even while sleeping. Krishna is so nice that we want to remember him even more than 24 hours daily. Regarding instructions from the spiritual master, there is no need of taking instructions spoken in dream while the spiritual master is still present. Lord Jagannatha is very kind and he can also appear in mind in his own dreams, in his own form. So why not in your dream? I hope that you are trying to follow the regulative principles and that both you and your husband are chanting your beads regularly daily. These two duties are essential for advancement in Krishna consciousness. And if they are made the center of our activities, then Krishna will begin to answer all questions from within how to become further advanced in his loving devotional service. Please offer my blessing to your husband, Michael. Hope this will meet you both in good health and Krishna consciousness. Your ever well wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you, Mataji. Any takeaway points, Mataji, from this letter?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Yes, in this letter, Prabhupada was encouraging and appreciating this devotee for taking interest in this movement. And Prabhupada was mentioning about the Archa Vigrahas, the 8 forms of the 8 different forms Krishna will appear for the benefit of conditional souls like metal, earth, wood, painting, stone, jewel, drawing, and mind. So everything Krishna can appear in whatever form the devotees like. So and another point is like when spiritual mastery is already there, there is no need to take his instruction from a dream. So from Guru is already there. So if Guru is not there, then maybe instruction from the dream can be taken, like that Prabhupada was mentioning. And the important point is like Prabhupada is mentioning, the chanting should be the center of all your activities. So if that the chanting, the main thing is the center of all your activity, then Krishna will answer all your questions from within. So Krishna is the first spiritual master. So Chaitanya. So Krishna can reveal everything to the devotees if we prioritize Krishna in our lives. So that is the main point Prabhupada was mentioning in all his letters, like make chanting as the center of all your activities, then everything will be revealed and everything needed for our spiritual progress will be supplied automatically. We don't have to do separate endeavor to get all this. Krishna will provide everything if we are sincere. So that's my takeaway, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. Dear devotees, any takeaway points from your end, or you wanted to add anything, or you wanted to share anything on this letter? Okay, so, and here Prabhupada mentions that out of this, Archa Vigraha is accepted as incarnation of God and worshipped by regulations. Madhyashna Darshana Sparsha Puja Stuti Abhivandanaihi. Bhuteshu madbhavanaya. So this is Kapila Bhagavan says, one has to Madhyashna Darshana Sparsha Puja Suti Abhivandanaihi. One has to always see the deity form and Madhyashna Darshana Sparsha, touch it. Puja and worship. Stuti, glorify. Abhivandanaihi, offer his obeisances. Going to the temple, Acha. So that's why one has to take that process. That is as part of it is embedded in the devotional service. And Acha is accepted as the incarnation of God. So for our material eyes, we can't see the Lord, his spiritual form. So he kindly descends here with his Acha form. That is the inquisitiveness is very, very important. If we do not inquire, what happens? We will go in only in our pace. But by the time when we are offering flowers, fresh flowers to the Lord, and that is Lord will be very pleased the whenever the smell is coming. When the flowers are just became bent and then they are no more fresh, we don't offer that one. But when we are young, when our body is energetic, when we are able to speak and glorify the Lord, if we do at that time, Lord will be very pleased. Otherwise, when we became old and we cannot even speak properly, we cannot walk properly, it is a old body, how can it render service to the Supreme Lord? So that one has to recognize. So when we are young, when we are doing all these things, we will relish in the young ages and then offering that fruits will be enjoyed in the later ages. Fruits will be enjoyed in the older ages. At the time, we don't start endeavoring. We enjoy the fruits in the old ages. But people, they wrongly think that I will start after my retirement in my devotional service. That is the wrong perception. People are falling into the Maya. So all the scriptures, they stresses that one from the beginning of the life, one has to engage in the devotional service. He will relish all throughout his life. Otherwise, going to the office, earning money, making livelihood, taking children school and coming and then to different activities. Kutumba Bharanenava, the time is always swallowing one's life. His body is decaying every moment. Ayur Harati Vaipumsam Mudjannastam Janna. So here, that is the devotional service. Prabhupada, and further he is saying that the consciousness, whenever his pure consciousness, it is appearing um, even when he is sleeping. That is three levels of the stages. One is the Jagriti, Swapna, Shushuptishu. Sushuptishu is the very deep slumber when all the living entities go into the dormant condition. That is called Sushuptishu. But devotional service, not only while waking up, not only the sleeping, not only the Sushuptu, it is above, it is beyond the Sushuptu stage. That is called Brahmasthiti. Brahmabhota Prasannatma, na sochati, na kankshati. Samah sarveshu bhuteshu mad bhaktim labate param. So sleeping also we worship. That is devotional service will be carried out even in that level above Shushuptishu as well, and it is spiritual, completely spiritual. And also, when our spiritual master is present, we take instructions from the spiritual master. We do not have to dream when, or that is it will make so many different things against the principles. Okay, and also how Lord Jagannath will also appear in the mind. There are a few points Prabhupada is mentioning, and chanting is very essential. That is the center of all of our spiritual life. Okay, that is my takeaway points as well. Any other points, dear devotees, you wanted to add or you wanted to ask any questions? So, okay, so that is from Srila Prabhupada's letter in that case. And from the announcements point of view, so tomorrow evening, it is preaching practice session with Sridhar Govindas Prabhuji at 8 p.m. Yeah, that's all from the announcements side. And dear devotees, if you have got anything to share on Krishna consciousness, any events are going on, You wanted to share, kindly share. Otherwise, we shall conclude and continue with further japa. Okay. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनन्तकोटिवैष्णववृन्द की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna, Hari Bol.